So now, since many of you requested it, I'm just gonna walk you through how I make my full art cards, like this one, and how I render them. It's another video. So, first of all, the next guy here wants either the Destiny End Dragon, which would be a lot of work since the artwork isn't complete, and the background, I might be able to continue that background, but rather since I just already looked into it, the Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon, I'm gonna do him. So first of all, the first thing you need is a scan of the cards. So Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Go. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki usually has pretty good scans. So you click on the card, then up there on card gallery, and there are all the scans they have. The official proxies are usually really bad. It's tiny and useless, so let's look if we can find any good ones. This one is good, but it has a terrible image, since all the holo effect is really hard to get out, and holo looks really bad in full art. This one is better when it comes to the image, but the text is completely unreadable. This one's Ghost, that's pretty damn useless. Holo, gold can't be read. Platinum? I don't even know. And that's a giant card. That's also useless. Okay, then we have to do something else. We have to once more Google Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon and hope that somebody already made an HD artwork for this card. So thanks to you 1157981433 for making that artwork. I don't even know if you made it or if you just re-uploaded it, but never, either way. Now we can use any scan, so we'll just pick the one with the best card quality. I think it's this one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now save that one to the desktop or wherever you want. Go over to Photoshop, just drag and drop it up here to create a new file. You can close that one. Now, some basic Photoshop shortcuts I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using STRG and space to zoom, only space to move around, B to switch to the pen, and M to switch to selection tool. So, first thing we gotta do is duplicate our layer and do that once again. So now we have one background layer, which is useless. Then we have here the layer that will be just the effect. Then we have one layer for here the name part and one layer for the stars. Now let's start with that. Just hide every layer by clicking the eyes. Just zoom in real tightly and select with one pixel margin the entire effect box. No. That looks nice. So now go to feather, radius 2, select inverse and press delete. Now we have just a text box with a slight feathering, so it goes over into the text, into the image much better. So there isn't such a hard transition, but that's entirely optional. You can also STRG Alt Z to go back. You can also only feather by 1, and now select inverse also looks pretty good. Now, same thing goes again up there. For the name part is kind of hard to see, but it goes from here to here. Now, there once again, feather 1, select inverse, delete. Now, we have those two separated from the rest. The stars we're gonna do last. I hate doing them, so I always do them last. Next, we take our picture we just found online, the high quality version of the red eyes flattering, and just place them on here. Now here comes the kinda artsy part, so you have to kinda guess where it looks good. So feel like it would look good like this. It takes up a lot of space on the card, which is nice. So you don't have to fill in as much on the lower part, since it already looks pretty detailed. Now, next thing is, taking a layer and going to rasterize layer. Now, this is the part where you have to kind of gamble, since Photoshop has a feature called auto-filling, filling with content-aware, with the content-aware algorithm. So you can just select the part, go right-click, fill, and use content-aware, and maybe it will look good. Sometimes it catches up in a lot of the structure on the picture and just fills it right away, like here. See, it took the whole sky and everything and finished it. So now we can go fill again here. Yeah, nah, doesn't look too good. Just gonna undo that. So, now comes the part where you just have to just use S to take out the stamp tool, press Alt to choose where you want to stamp from, and just stamp. Try and imitate the look of the card with your stamp. It's kinda hard sometimes, but you just gotta get a feeling for it. Now after we filled that part in, now it's part for the lower half. Once again, we'll try first to fill that in. That doesn't work at all, so just still gonna, yeah, that's much better. So kind of shit. Let's try again. The fill algorithm is pretty random at times, so if you retry, you might get different results. You can also toggle off this thing. Now we see more. Okay, we can see these clouds are invisible to us, as long as it's sub, so we can use those to fill in the lower parts. So just, whoops, wrong layer, there, take that and fill, fill our whole content hole down here. So now that looks much better than there. So continuing to fix the holes. Now so this is just an example of how I do it. Sometimes you have to do other things as well, just like cutting out part of the card, so I'm just going to show examples later. This one, it looks really terrible. Let's see, nah, it looks extremely terrible. I hate it. I hate every bit of it. So let's try this. Let's try to get this here. So now, bit better, tad bit. Not really good so far. I'm not entirely happy with it. So That looks better. There's still this ugly blotch of color here, which I can't really get rid of, unless I do something like I take this star here and place it there. Okay, now it's pretty obvious it's pasted. Paste it somewhere else, like here. Oh, no, better. I take these stars, which are not visible so far, place them there. Much better. Now, that looks a lot better. So next thing we do, which is useless. Okay, one thing I sometimes do is let me open up my folder with all the cards I already made. Real quick. So there. For example, on some you have to cut out parts of the card. For example, here I had to redraw part of this card, part of this card. Or here I had to cut out the entire Dark Planet, since the background was holographic and it looked really bad. So I went about just simply erasing every piece that was background, so I could place another background in. Or here I did the same thing, I had to erase most things. Unlike here, the Konami already offered a PNG version of their art. Here I cut out it again, yeah, you get the point. So this one already works, and yeah, another thing I often do is, let me search a card. If the text is a little unreadable, unlike here it's pretty clearly readable. For example, Destiny Hero Malicious here. What I tend to do is do a drop shadow on the text, which is useless here, but I'll still show you how to do it. I'll do it this way. I duplicate my name layer twice, then I hide two of them. Take the upper one and just bump up the contrast twice. So now you have this really hard text. You can go with your magic wand get the textures and just select the text. Yeah, but we don't need to do that on this one since it's already readable. Yeah. So delete that, and replace that. Now, one thing usually I do is tear down the visibility, the opacity to 71 or 80%, so you can see part of the background behind it. And same thing goes here. Tear it down so far until you can tell the background like this. Yeah, looks good. Now the last thing, I really hate that part, is take the one layer we still have, that's the background layer, you can't move that, and move it up all the way to the top. So that's where we started, that's where we are at now. You can see the text is the same, everything, yeah. Now just select the stars and go down here on this button. That will clean them up for you. Now next thing to do is what I do. So I take out my graphic tablet. Yeah, so press B to get out the brush. And select here the alpha mask and start scribbling away just approximately here. so the stars are almost gone. Now I press X to invert and redraw the first star until I think it has like nice size, so you don't need the entire stars. Now I take the elliptical mark tool, mark that sphere, press delete, okay, press X, press delete, and just move that one along. Oops. So let's press it again here. Kinda messed up the height, so now this here, 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 and I think I messed up the height here again. Yeah. Just press shift so you make sure that you're always on the same height. So now like this. Now you have the stars again, but just take the stars and turn the opacity down. And in this case, I think it looks good if you take or realize flare metal ring, duplicate the layer. Now just rectangle mark the part where you will overlap the stars. Take the layer all the way to the top and press the button down here. Now it's time once again to get out the pen tool. Now we can make him overlap both the stars. Just flames are in the background, his head is in front. Just this. It should be mentioned that I'm using a graphic tablet, so this is a lot easier for me than it might be for you if you're doing this with a mouse, but it can still be done with a mouse. So like this here. Could probably speed this up, but I don't really want to spend any time cutting this. So now, see how that looks. Still too much here. Not hard enough border. Period's also not hard enough. It doesn't feel hard enough here either. And here, it's missing a whole part. Now that's more like it. Starting to get where I want it. That's more. That's it. That's more like it. So turn the stars even further down. Also this one has a weird ass border, which I'm gonna just remove. Oops. Nice. So, and that's all pretty much already done. Just save it. Just as the red eyes flare metal dragon. Save. And then once again save as PNG. Done. Now the next thing I always do is do a small random. if you just were here for the card making, you can turn off now. How I do that is I prepare a studio in Cinema 4D. I usually use Light Kit Infinity. It's a pretty nice lighting kit. Then I create 2 rectangle splines. Where is it? Where are you, rectangle? There you are. Now with them, if you make them 58 times 86, they have pretty much the form of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Then give it a 1 centimeter edge, and you pretty much have your form for your Yu-Gi-Oh card. Then just create textures that include the card and put them on there. The rest should be pretty self-explanatory if you know even a little bit about Cinema 4D. Next, I take here, I just replace the one I just want to render, the Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon. Nope. Then here, I choose the one I downloaded, just so you can see the before after. Close it, and there we go, render it, and we're done. That's already all I do. But this one went really well. Just from time to time you have problems like there either being no quality scan, like here I had no really quality scan. We were just lucky that there was an online artwork of this guy. For example, I think, where is he? Fire Avatar something. I tried to do yesterday, but there is no quality artwork of this one, so it's pretty much impossible at the moment until there's either a good scan or Konami releases any artworks. Now, and in other cases, for example, let's see, we can just scroll through my already done. Here, for example, the artwork didn't leave any choice other than cut out the whole thing, the whole character, make him transparent and add another background. Or let's see, for example, this one, yeah, it has a own background. Let me check which one I also changed the background completely. Or for example here, I just redrew, I seriously drew the tree and the ground. Yep. Yeah. But if it works this way, you can get results like this one pretty easily. It's just a little bit of artistic feel to feel where you place the whole thing, and the rest you can do with basic tools in Photoshop.